So to pick up few examples of industries which are in different phases of industry life cycle. So what is currently in the development phase perhaps is the artificial intelligence and cyber security and data mining and also your blockchain technology. So that is what I have termed as ABCD. A stands for artificial intelligence, B stands for blockchain technology, C stands for cyber security, and D stands for data mining. So these are the four industry then can be said to be in the development phase of the industry cycle. Which are the companies that can be said to be in the growth stage of the industry cycle? So all the e-commerce companies that we hear of, we can say that those e-commerce companies are in the growth phase of the industry cycle. And which are the companies in the shakeout stage of the industry cycle? And I'm sure you will immediately think of the telecom industry. So telecom industry is currently in the shakeout phase, and that is how we have seen as to how many companies have got merged into one another. And the latest example of the shakeout is where Vodafone has merged with Idea, and now that is it has become V for Vodafone, I for Idea. And so the telecom industry currently is in the shakeout phase of the industry cycle. So which are the companies that can be said, which is the industry that can be said to be in the maturity stage? And IT industry in my view is in the maturity stage. Of course, in my understanding, there is still a long way. It will take many years before the IT industry enters into decline phase. In my view, the maturity phase for the IT industry even today is going to be at least of 10 years. So even, I mean, in my understanding, IT industry will remain in the maturity phase for next 10 years. It's only after next 10 years you will experience that the IT industry will start declining. Some new technology will come, some new technological changes will happen, but that will not happen sooner than 10 years. So this is how I look at the IT industry. And I'm sure if you think about it, you can very easily realize there is still a lot to be done as far as the IT is concerned. There is still a lot to be done as far as the digitization is concerned. And please remember, when we look at the industry, we don't look at the industry only in terms of one economy. We look at the industry in terms of global also. So globally, the population of the whole world is 700 करोड़. तो 700 करोड़ की पॉपुलेशन है. 700 करोड़ के लोगों की पॉपुलेशन को ईज करने के लिए, फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए, और 700 करोड़ और 200 कंट्रीज़ हैं, तो 200 कंट्रीज़ के जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, गवर्नेंस हैं, उनको करंट लेवल पे लाने के लिए, उनको एफिशिएंट करने के लिए देयर इज़ अ ह्यूज डिमांड, huge potential for the digitization. And that is why I feel that even though IT industry today is in the maturity phase, it will take another 10 years before the IT industry starts declining in the decline phase. So even if the IT company, IT shares may have got the beating since the invasion by Putin to Zelensky, but it does not mean that the IT industry is down and out. No, it's only a temporary phase that in my view would last for another 3 months. And after 3 months, you can see a surge in the prices of IT companies, and that would remain so for next 10 years. After that, of course, it will enter into decline because then you will have some new technology. Number one, most of the requirements by then would have been taken care of as far as the digitization is concerned, as far as the automation is concerned, plus some new technology would have arrived on the scene, and that would have made the current IT's ecosystem redundant or maybe out of date because new technology has come. As far as the decline is concerned, the decline phase of the industry life cycle is concerned, and if I ask you as to which industry you think is in the decline stage, what will be your answer?
there may be small companies which are facing this.
which are facing. Okay, so in my understanding, today the automobile industry, the when I say automobile industry, that means petrol, diesel driven automobiles are in my view, or that industry in my view has entered into decline phase. And why is that so? That is because of the invent of EV, electric vehicles. So EV, electric vehicles, and the realization globally to protect the environment from the pollution, that is going to provide impetus to electric vehicle industry all over the globe. As a result of that, diesel driven vehicles and petrol driven vehicles are, in my view, are in the decline stage, and sooner than later, of course, for complete exit of the auto or complete exit of the petrol driven and diesel driven vehicles to happen, the capacities for producing the EV vehicles will have to be jacked up, uh, and it is happening. A lot of companies, as we know, are entering into the EV. Tata Motors is one of them, and many companies, even Mercedes, I am told, has come out with the EV model of Mercedes car. And in the scooter, we have so many of the two-wheeler companies which have entered into the electric vehicle, not only in India but in the many economies of the globe. And that is why I would say that the automobiles driven by petrol or driven by diesel, in my view, are in the decline. That is the industry which is in the decline phase in the industry life cycle. And that means what? That means unless these automobile companies do something about the electric vehicles, their valuations are likely to be hit, because the petrol driven vehicles and diesel driven vehicles are going to be out of the business.